Welcome to the Wisdom That Breathes channel. Across all our platforms, we try to share wisdom which is relevant and accessible to everyone. But on this particular platform, we go deeper into some of the ancient principles found within the scriptures. If you find some of the terminology difficult or inaccessible, then go over to our Keshava Swami YouTube channel where you'll be able to find other content which is perhaps more relatable. Thank you and enjoy the wisdom that breathes. Thank you so much, Guru. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming this afternoon. Really happy to be here. We just visited the new temple site. So things are coming up slowly. One time, Srila Prabhupada, he was in a room and someone said to him, Swamiji, why are you opening so many temples? Already there are so many temples. So Prabhupada looked at the person and he said, why are you having children? There are already so many children. He said, no, but we want to have our child. Prabhupada said, we want to have our temple. So it's your temple, it's not somebody else's temple. It's your temple, it's your child. Please take the responsibility to make the project happen. Srimad Bhagavatam explains, Etavad janma safalyam dehinam yadehishu pranirarthe diya vacha shreya acharanam sada. That in this life, if you want to make your janma safalyam, if you want to make your birth successful, then in your life you have some prana, you have some energy. Use that energy for Krishna. Artha, you have some funds, is it? One pastor, he said to his church, there's good news and bad news. We're building a temple for $1 million. Good news is the money is there. Bad news is it's still in your pocket. So Artha, please be generous. Dhiya, intelligence. Very intelligent. You are also accomplished in the world, achieved so many things. Now use that intelligence to make Krishna the most famous person in the world. And Vacha, you all have words. So be encouraging to each other. And everyone you see, everyone you speak to, tell them, there's a temple coming up in West Sydney. Can you help? And like that, we can, by the end of 2025, have this temple up. sound restriction here. You can talk louder. Can you talk louder? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna everyone, thank you again for coming. Really happy to be with you. I was thinking what we could do this afternoon. And from the last program, I think many of you had questions, and maybe some of you who didn't come this afternoon also have questions, so I thought we could just spend some time doing questions and answers. Of course, I could give a class, and maybe I should share a few words. Once there was one priest, and he was giving lectures on God his whole life. So at the end of life, he reached the gates of God, and he thought, definitely, whole life I spoke about God. So he was knocking on the gates. They checked his record, and they said, sorry, you'll have to go back one more time to try again. He said, what? I've been speaking about God my whole life. As he was walking away, a taxi driver came to the gates of God. They checked the taxi driver's record. He said, chalo, chalo, come in. Your time has come. So now he was even more bewildered. Not only did I not get in, the taxi driver going, he said, I demand to see the boss. Where's God? So God appeared. He said, God, I just don't understand. All my life I was speaking about you, and you didn't let me in. God looked at him and said, every time you spoke about me, people just went to sleep. He said, I tried my best. He said, but I don't understand. The taxi driver got through. He said, every time he drove, everyone prayed to God. Don't make me have to come back as a taxi driver. So sometimes too much lecturing. Sometimes people tell us, you guys go on and on and on and on and on and on. Of course, we can say so many things about the Gita. The great teacher Jiva Goswami explains that the very first and the very last instructions of Krishna in the Gita are very instructive. The very first instructions of Gita 2:11. Asocyan and vasochastam pragyavadam stabhashashe gatasun gatasunsta nanasochanti panyata. Very nice. Everyone is studying. Yes, Krishna says to Arjun, na anusochanti. Don't have any socha. Don't lament. Don't be in fear. Don't have anxiety. And the very final instruction of Krishna in the Gita, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam saranam praja aham tvam sarva papebhyo Moksha Ishyami Ma Sucha. Same word is coming. Very first, very last instruction, Jiva Goswami says, Ma Sucha. Don't worry, don't be in anxiety, don't be fearful. So therefore, Jiva Goswami says, Krishna is explaining that the basic human condition of life is that we are fearful. We are fearful about so many things. But the whole idea of the Gita is that it's meant to free us from all fear. The first way the Gita frees us from fear is the Gita reminds us, don't take this world too seriously. Natad bhashayate shuryo nashashanko napavaka yadgatva nanivartante tadhama paramam nama. There's something beyond this world. There's another world, a spiritual world. We're just here for some time, just passing through, just in the transit lounge. And therefore Krishna says you can go there. One time Srila Prabhupada was distributing books, Easy Journey to Other Planets, in a place called Jhansi. And then he came to one person and the person said, oh, if I read this book, can I go to other planets? Prabhupada said, yes, you can go to Krishna's planet, Vaikuntha. The person said, and then, can I come back to Jhansi? Prabhupada said, Yadgatva. When you go there, you don't come back here. He said, I can't come back to Jhansi. Prabhupada said, no. He said, then I don't want the book. So we base all our hopes, our dreams, our desires, everything in our mind is only planning for this world. If your constant planning is only for this world, you will constantly be in anxiety. But if you become a transcendental, a spiritual planner, and you plan how you're going to get to that world, then immediately you will feel freedom from any kind of fear. Because you'll know, it's okay. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So the first way that Krishna frees us from fear is he reminds us, see everything in perspective. The problem we have is that we don't see things in perspective. We make something small very big, isn't it? And then what happens is we make something so big in our mind, magnifying. Then later on Krishna explains that don't worry if you feel, sometimes you may be fearful because you may think, but will I make it there? Sounds great, spiritual world. Will I make it there? Will I have the qualification? So in the Gita, Krishna says, don't worry, step by step. Always think of me, Krishna says in the 12th chapter. He says, if you can't do that, then follow the regulative principles of devotional life. Krishna says, you can't do that? No problem. Work for me. Give your results. Krishna says, you can't do that? He says, don't worry. Do some charity work. In other words, Krishna is giving so many things we can do step by step. So even if you're feeling, I am not that person, 16 rounds. One person, he came to me once, he goes, you guys, my whole life people always gave me numbers. My parents told me number, I want this much in the exam. Then I got a job and my boss told me number, I want this much sales. And then my wife told me number. And then I came to the temple and you all give me a number. 16 rounds, 4 eggs, Panchatattva, Sab Goswami, Sapta Rishi, Dasavatar. It's all numbers. He said, where does it say in the Gita 16 rounds? Show me. Where does it say 16 rounds? I said, Prabhu. Krishna says, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. 24 hours a day chanting. Here. He said, where is it? He said, okay, 16 rounds. Chalo. But they think, will I make it 16? Start somewhere. One round. Isn't it? You can begin. One round. Come on, you can do one round only. The devotees told you in the beginning, you don't need to change your life. Yeah, right. Relax. Be who you are. One round. Be one round. Devotees are agents of Vaman Dev. You know, no? Oh, 3 steps. 3 steps. Take everything. So then the next anxiety may be, will I make it? You can make it because you can go step by step. So wherever you are, do something extra, then you get there. But then you may think, but will I have the inspiration? I know what I should do, but sometimes I wake up in the morning and I don't have the inspiration. Therefore, Krishna also gives the solution for that in the Gita. Krishna says, I forgot the verse. Krishna says, Bodhayanta Parashparam. How does that verse begin? Machita. Machita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parashparam Katayantas Chamam Nityam Tushanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Very good. I was just testing you. So Krishna says, always keep company with spiritual people, isn't it? You have to always be with the devotees. Sometimes we look at each other and think, I don't like that person. We look at each other, what about that person? They made that mistake. We in a community, it's very difficult. In a community, lots of talking goes on, isn't it? Everyone's like, no, not me. Everyone. They say so many of the problems of the world would be solved if instead of talking about each other, we talk to each other. So everyone makes some mistake. But when someone else makes a mistake, then we are like a judge. And when we make a mistake, then we're like a lawyer. So many defense arguments. So we have to be kind and we have to live together. This is your family. Get used to it. It's very nice. Remember, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he said we have to all get along. Because look around. These are the people that are going to be surrounding you one day when you're leaving this world. They'll be chanting for you. They'll be praying for you. And therefore, we must have good relationships with each other. So Krishna says, Katayantas Chamam Nityam, talk to each other, inspire each other, encourage each other, support each other. If someone makes a mistake, okay, they should learn, they should be better, but give them another chance. Krishna gave us another chance. And like this, Krishna says, ultimately rely on me. You have nothing to fear. When I was joining the temple, then I had some doubts. Should I do it? Should I not do it? So one devotee said, sit down, let's just talk. Let's open a random verse of the Gita. I looked at his finger, he had already marked the page. Oh, this one. So you open, devotees, I tell you. You can't trust these guys, you know. So he opened a random page. And you know what the verse was? Random verse. Machita sarvadurgani matprasad tarishashi atachetvam ahankaran nashroshasi vinamshasi. Krishna says, if you become conscious of me, You will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. Let me just say that again. Krishna says, if you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles. Sarva Durgani, Mat Prasadat, by my grace. And then Krishna says, but if you act not hearing me, you'll be lost. So always keep contact with Krishna. Krishna can carry you. Krishna is carrying you. And Krishna can help you overcome any difficulty, any block that may be there. And like this, through the knowledge of the Gita, what Krishna is doing systematically is he's not just telling Arjun, Ma Sucha, don't have fear. Krishna is teaching Arjun so much knowledge that helps him realize, when I go to bed at night, there's no reason to have anxiety. Nowadays, people can't go to sleep because they have so much anxiety. So much anxiety. But if you come close to Krishna, Mahasucha, no need to be in anxiety, no need to fear. Everything will be okay. So like this, the Bhagavad Gita is the ultimate therapy book, because it helps you to actually find peace on the deepest level. Every other method in this world to try and find peace, it won't last. It will help you for some time, and then the worries will come back again and again. But if you change your consciousness, and if you realize Krishna is on my side, Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna, Yatra Partho Tanurdhara, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is the sincere devotee, there will always be victory, there will always be opulence, and there will always be morality, beauty, and all positive things. So we have the opportunity in our life now to really take advantage. Actually, you know, like when you run a marathon race, and then when you get into the final lap, then you come into the stadium, isn't it? And then they ring the bell, final lap, ding, ding, ding. You run the whole marathon. Now imagine someone after running the whole marathon comes into the stadium, whole crowd is cheering, it's the final lap, the finish line is inside, and then you say, oh, too tired, I can't do it. It's agonizing, but you're right there. So dear devotees, what can we say? We don't know how many lifetimes it took to come to this point. We are on the threshold of eternity. Don't give up now. Now is the time not to slow down or stop. Now is the time to go faster than ever. The final sprint. So this is it. It's not a long life. Prabhu was saying in the introduction, he is young. Doesn't feel like it. 43 now. 44. The youth of old age. Life goes quick. Life goes quick. For monks, we understand our life is being reduced. You know how? Our sika gets lower and lower. As your sika gets lower, you understand your hairline is dropping. I'm just letting you into a secret. And then we understand getting older and older. It feels like yesterday I was 21 and I joined the temple. And that's nearly 25 years ago. In another 25 years, I don't know. Will I even be here? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. Time is moving. So yes, these were just some introductory words to share with all of you. But what I'd really like to do is hear from all of you. Maybe you have some questions, something on your mind, something you'd like to ask about philosophy, about practice. Then maybe we can have a little bit of a discussion. Does that sound okay?
Sure.
Yeah? Does anyone have a question they would like to begin? The first one is the brave one. Ma Sucha. Don't fear. Alright, there. That is really wonderful.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for a wonderful introductory class. It was very enlightening, very entertaining, and I took down a lot of notes as well. I have a question regarding something that you have not mentioned today. How do we know if we have conducted Vaishnava aparadh, not just in this lifetime, but maybe even in the past lives?
Thank you. The devotees are very dear to Krishna. In the Adi Puranas, Krishna says, Ye me bhakta jana partha, na me bhaktaschate janaha, mad bhaktanam cha me bhaktas, te me bhaktatanam mataha. Krishna says, if one thinks they are my direct devotee, they are not my devotee. But if they become the devotee of my devotee, then they become very dear to me. So we have to realize that the Vaishnavas, the devotees who have given their hearts and minds to serving Krishna, they have credit with Krishna. Isn't it? When you're trying to find a job, you may be wholly unqualified, spaced out, and not really worthy. But if you know someone in the company, so sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. That's how the material world works. So the spiritual version is it's not what you know, it's who you know. Because if a Vaishnava smiles on you, if a Vaishnava is very pleased with you, then even our weakness and so many things can be overcome. But in the same way, if we displease, if we hurt, if we're insensitive, if we harm another devotee of Krishna, that is very, very injurious to our spiritual life. We should be very, very conscious, very aware. How do we know that we have committed Vaishnava aparadh? What will generally happen is that you will lose your enthusiasm for spiritual life. One time Rupa Goswami was meditating on Krishna's pastimes, and in his meditation he saw a scene from Kusum Sarovar. Krishna was hiding in a tree and sitting on a branch, and then along came Srimati Radharani, and Radharani saw a flower on the branch, so she went to pick it, and as soon as she put her hand up, Krishna jumped off the branch, Radharani went flying. So Radharani was on this branch suspended in midair, and Krishna was laughing. And Rupa Goswami saw the whole scene and he began laughing. But just at that moment, there was a sage who walked past who was slightly limping. And so the sage was walking past, Rupa Goswami was laughing, and the sage thought, oh, he's laughing at me? And then later on, Rupa Goswami's meditation broke. Later on, Rupa Goswami understood, I've offended someone, but who have I offended? His brother told him, arrange prasadam, and whoever doesn't turn up is the person you offended. And like that, he found out and then begged forgiveness. So generally what happens is if we offend another devotee, then our enthusiasm will start to wane. Our hunger to be with devotees that will start to move away. So therefore, we should be conscious. Let us please the devotees. They are Krishna se tomar, Krishna vite paro, tomar shakati ache, ekaki amar, nahi paya bal, harinam sankirtane. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, ekaki amar, me alone, nahi paya bal. I don't have the strength. Harinam sankirtane, to practice spiritual life. Alone I'm weak. But the devotees, Krishna say Tomar, Krishna is yours, you've captured him in your heart. Therefore, Bhai Tava Pache Pache, I'm running behind you again and again, please give me Krishna. So don't think that, we should never think that we can please Krishna while displeasing the devotees. Alright? Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for an amazing class. I feel very inspired. I just had a question. How do we encourage youth to build relationships with their potential spiritual masters?
How do we encourage young people to develop relationships with their spiritual masters? Nice question. First thing is, we can learn from everyone. We should be expert at learning from all the Vaishnavas. Sometimes we're looking for the spiritual master, and in the process of looking for that one person, we miss out that there are so many devotees right around us that we can already learn from. So the first thing we should do is we should become expert at learning from everyone. Look around in your community and see all the great devotees who each have been blessed with a special quality. Learn from them. Like that, you can have many Shiksha Gurus first. Second thing is, develop a deep relationship with Srila Prabhupada first. Srila Prabhupada is our founder Acharya. He is the preeminent Shiksha Guru. And when we deeply understand Srila Prabhupada's heart, then we will be able to find that person who's dedicated their life to Srila Prabhupada. So read all of Srila Prabhupada's books. Even read his conversations and his letters. Even read his biographies. So much. Yes, it's beautiful. Christians, sometimes they have a wristband. WWJD. You know this?
Yes. What would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do? So we can also think in every situation, what would Srila Prabhupada do? We should become very close to Srila Prabhupada. When I joined the temple, a delegation from my family came. So they were quizzing me. I said, you should get a job. I said, I have a job. No, first they said you should get married. I said, I'm already engaged. I'm already engaged in devotional service. Okay. Get a job. Already have a job. Who? Prabhupada's my boss. This is not a proper job. I said, it is. They said, what's the salary? I said, I don't know about the salary, but the retirement plan is out of this world. So Prabhupada is the one we're serving. Srila Prabhupada came all alone. When Prabhupada arrived in America, Boro Krishna, Koile Krishna, Adhame Prati. Ki lobi onila heta koro e bhagati. Krishna, you are very kind, but I don't know why you've brought me to this terrible place. Achegichu karja taba e anuman. Nahe kana eni bana se ugrasthan. But I guess you must have some work here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? Rajastama guna era sabaya chan. Vasudeva katha ruchi nahe se prasan. I'm looking at everyone here and everyone's absorbed in the material modes of passion and ignorance. They have no taste for hearing about Krishna. Prabhupada came all alone in 1965 in the coldest recorded New York winter to share Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is our boss. So, first establish a deep relationship with Srila Prabhupada. Establish and learn from all the Vaishnavas. Have many Shiksha Gurus in your life. And then, third thing is, become a qualified disciple. It doesn't matter if you find the best spiritual master in the world. If we are not a qualified disciple, what will we do? So, yes, we have to be able to place faith in our spiritual master. But sometimes we have to look in the mirror and say, can my spiritual master put faith in me? Am I trustworthy? And then, once you become qualified as a disciple, then hear. Listen. Listen to the words of the saintly people. And don't just listen to their words, listen to their heart. And by Krishna's grace, someone's voice will resonate. And it will become very clear to you. This is the person through whom Krishna is communicating to me. So yes, it's a very wonderful thing. If you have a guru in your life, then you can achieve the unimaginable. But it's not a cheap thing. It requires a very, very deep commitment of the heart. So I would say, don't rush. First, learn from the devotees. First, learn and develop a deep relationship with Prabhupada. And first, look within and become a serious devotee. And then, through listening, everything will come. All right?
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Maharaj. I have a question that is that right approach to differentiate between the deities established by the Srila Prabhupada and like Srila Prabhupada establishing deities and but new temples they are coming and their deities are established by some other their disciple or someone else. So is it right approach to differentiate between them or no?
Hari Hari. Krishna is unlimited, isn't it?
Yes.
Krishna, he can manifest himself in so many ways by his mercy. And when the devotees come, then Krishna agrees to come under their control. So Srila Prabhupada, by his causeless mercy, he said, I've captured Krishna and I've brought him here for you. And so many deities of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada invited and brought here so that all of us could be blessed. So they are all special. The deities brought by Srila Prabhupada are very, very special. But any deity of Krishna, Because when a devotee worships the deity with love, then Krishna manifests, and then is Sakshat Krishna. So then, just as incredible, just as beautiful. One time, a group of devotees were having a transcendental argument. We don't just have arguments. What's always transcendental? Which are the most beautiful deities in ISKCON? Obviously, Radha Gokulananda. Obviously. No, Krishna said, Radha Parishishvara. Krishna is just like a French boy. No, Radha Shyam Sundar, Vrindavan. Prabhupada said, the source of all deities. And then as everyone was arguing, one devotee put his hand up, he said, you're all wrong. He was so confident. I said, okay, what's your idea? He said, the most beautiful deities in ISKCON are the deities that you worship with your heart. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Velochanena Santashade Varidayoshi Vilokayanti Yam Shyama Sundaram Achindya Guna Sarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. You have to have eyes of love. Prem Anjana. Eyes which are salve, smeared with the salve of love. So we have to just serve. That's the most important thing. And then Krishna will immediately manifest. Don't try to see God, but act in such a way that God will want to see you. So therefore Krishna is unlimited and Krishna can manifest himself in unlimited ways. Alright?
Thank you.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Just on the topic of gurus, I just wanted to know what was your guru's qualities, like what Vaishnava qualities did he exhibit that attracted you most to him, and like Venus's association and stuff.
So what were the glorious qualities of the spiritual master that attracted me to him? For a long time I never got initiated. It took me a long time actually. I was so impressed by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada captured my imagination. And although I understood that we need a living guru, for me Srila Prabhupada was everything. And so for many years I never took initiation because I was satisfied. Srila Prabhupada has given me everything. When I came in contact with my spiritual master, what convinced me that he was my spiritual master is because by and through my relationship with him, I felt even more connected to Srila Prabhupada. I felt even more love for Srila Prabhupada. I felt it was actually non-different than associating with someone like Srila Prabhupada. And therefore, every guru in the parampara is a perfect representative of the previous spiritual masters. And in that way, one can understand that they are connecting me all the way back to Krishna. So that was definitely one thing that very much impressed me. There could be many, many other things I could say. It could become a whole seminar. I'll say one other thing. the other thing that convinced me that this was my spiritual master is he made Krishna consciousness accessible. After I'd taken sannyas, one day he came into my room and he picked up my danda. Sannyasis test out each other's dandas. He picked up my danda and he said, "It's very heavy." So he said, "Come to my room." So I went to his room, and in his room was his danda. Try it out. So I picked up his danda and it was like a feather. So light. So he looked at me, he was smiling, he said, "What do you think?" I said, "It's very light." He said, "Do you like it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "It's yours." And then he said, "The vow of sannyas is already heavy, so at least you can have a light danda." But it taught me that what the spiritual master does is he makes something which is very heavy, very light. He makes something which is very, very high, within reach. He makes something which is very, very deep, understandable. He makes something which is very, very pure, accessible to even with someone with so many weaknesses. And this is basically what the spiritual master does, makes everything accessible to us. And therefore I realized, when I was with him, I felt anything is possible. Even for someone with so many defects, it's possible. That confidence, that faith, that enthusiasm. And therefore I understood, this is the person. I need his help. And if he smiles on me, maybe my life will be successful. So I'm trying, failing every day, but still trying. And like that, we're so fortunate that we have Srila Prabhupada and so many wonderful devotees in our movement who do that very same thing. So take advantage. Take advantage of the Vaishnavas. Don't stay away. My parents told me, don't go too close to the men in orange. I said, don't worry, I'm very balanced. Future is bright. So sometimes we stay away from devotees, isn't it? They're very nice people, but keep a distance. Don't get too close. They might start asking you to do things, change your life. Oh, I like them, very nice. There you go. Don't come too close. Don't. Stay away. No, let the Vaishnavas into your life. Definitely they will disrupt your life, 100%. Sometimes people ask me, how did you become a devotee? Everyone has their own story, isn't it? How I came to Krishna consciousness, everyone has a story. Everyone doesn't have a story. There's only one story. A devotee came into my life and destroyed everything. There's no other story. There's only one story. One story only. Watch out. So, what am I saying? Yes. How did I get onto that point? All right.
Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, what does it take for a devotee to stay in Krishna consciousness for longer and not quitting it while they constantly grow?
Well, we don't want to stay in Krishna consciousness for longer. We want to stay in Krishna consciousness for eternity. So what does it take to be in Krishna consciousness? Generally, there's three things which will divert people from the path. Three things which will derail your spiritual life. Number one, offenses. Number two, inattentive practice. And number three, familiarity. So, in your spiritual life, if you're very, very careful, never be insensitive to others. If you're very, very careful, let me take every single one of the spiritual practices that I have and let me do it with my full attention. And if you're very, very careful, never let me take anything here for granted. I'll share with you, all of you are in this community center. It's far too small. I travel across the world. Devotees sometimes have to travel 10 hours to meet another 5 devotees. In some places, they can't do Rath Yatra. So you know what they do? They get a gymnasium hall and they put up a Rath Yatra car and just go round and round in the hall. In some places, you can't turn up like this. Because if you even walk out like this, immediately in jail. In some countries, if you walk into the country with a phone which has even one picture of Krishna on it, immediately everything will be seized by the authorities and you're told, turn around and get out of here. Don't take it for granted. This opportunity to hear and chant with the devotees is a golden opportunity. Don't think it's just, oh yeah, it's alright, I'll go this Sunday. No. Tune in online. Of course, sometimes you have to tune in online because you can't because of your... But if you can be in the Vaishnava Sangha, take advantage. So like this, never become familiar. Remember the day you joined the Krishna consciousness movement. And try to always be in that youthful hunger. Never become familiar. Then if you do this, you'll always be in Krishna consciousness. You'll always smile, you'll always be happy. There's so much there, you don't need to change anything. Krishna consciousness is so deep, you can keep doing the same thing again and again. Once we were in Harinam in Scotland, and one person came up to me at the end of the Harinam, he said, I love you guys. He said, you guys are always smiling, you're always singing, you're always dancing, you're always happy, but don't you guys have any new songs? I said, well, this is a mantra. Japite japite mantra, korila pagal. Mahaprabhu says, after Mahaprabhu got the Maha Mantra from Ishvara Puri, he went back to Ishvara Puri. Kiba mantra dila gosai, kibe tarabal, japite japite mantra, korila pagal. He went back to his spiritual master, he said, Kiba mantra, What kind of mantra, Dila Gosai, what kind of mantra have you given me? Japite japite mantra, I'm chanting this mantra again and again. Korila pagal, and I'm becoming completely mad. So, Krishna consciousness, you can just keep doing the same thing again and again, but if you don't commit offense, if you don't become inattentive, and if you make sure you don't become familiar, you will experience deeper and deeper things from this process. Eternal technology. Alright? When I say familiar, what that means? It means don't take devotees for granted. Don't take temples for granted. Don't take the books for granted. The books are on your shelf. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Don't leave it as it is on the shelf. I grew up in a Gujarati house, okay? In Gujarati Chub. Now, in a Gujarati house, everything is in plastic. Remote control is in plastic. Sofas are in plastic. Once I went to a house and the sofas were in plastic, I said, oh no, new sofas. No, that's what I was teaching. Why is the plastic still? Dago thai jai to. So when I go to homes now, Bhagavatam is in plastic only. I said, why is it in plastic? The book's in plastic. It's okay. You can take the plastic off. You have to read. The number of homes I've gone to where the Bhagavatam is still in the plastic. It's no good sign. Bhagavatam is Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarva Shrai Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Arthakai. Krishna Tulya Bhagavata. This is Krishna. So, this is what it means. Don't take it for granted. Life out there is hard. This is real life. There's no happiness out there. It's so dry. It's such a struggle. This is the place where you can find what you've always been looking for. But if you become familiar, again you will just see this as a material thing. So let us pray. Every day when I'm in Mangalarti, I pray to Krishna. Krishna, let me never become familiar. Let me realize I have a great fortune. I don't know how long we should go on for.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Pranams. I want to ask a question, a philosophical question, if I may. When Lord Krishna starts describing the Ashtanga Yoga process in chapter 6, and to be precise, from 6.11, he starts, right from Shucho Deshe Pradisthave, when he starts describing. He goes on, initially he talks about the external, but in 6.13-14, especially 6.14 is completely permeated with Bhakti Yoga. He uses the term Mat Para, Yukta Asit, Mat Para and Mat Chitta, completely permeated with Bhakti Yoga. Then he goes on, talks a little bit more about, Ashtanga Yoga. 6.20-23, he talks about Samadhi and, how to attain Samadhi. But then in the middle, 6.30-31, again is completely permeated with Bhakti Yoga. When he, Yomam Pashati Sarvatra, Sarvatra Mam Pashati. So again, completely permeated with Bhakti Yoga. And finally, he speaks a little bit more about the Ashtanga Yoga, but towards the end, chapter 6 culminates completely in Bhakti Yoga. Yoginam Abhi Sarvesham Bhakti Nandara. Now, if you see the flow of the thought of chapter 6 of the Gita, yes, he does talk about Ashtanga Yoga. But many times, you get the flavor of Bhakti Yoga completely. But my question is, Maharaj, when the Ashtanga yogis practice Ashtanga Yoga, through the 8-step Ashtanga Yoga process, and when they start meditating upon, they start with concentration and they start meditating, and then when they go deeper and deeper and their meditation becomes more and more intense and they start meditating upon the four-handed form of Vishnu, do they ever get a personal destination? Because most of them, they realize the intangible Paramatma rather than getting a personal destination. Not only do they not go to Krishna, but what about the other planets? They are deprived of that as well, isn't it?
Yes, thank you so much. Nice. Clearly your books are not in the plastic. So very good. Thank you. We are inspired. See, Prabhuji, Gita is a song. No? Every song has a chorus, isn't it? They'll sing a few lines and then they come back to the chorus. What is a famous chorus? I don't know. You know something, whatever it is. So, Krishna will say many, many things, but the chorus of the Gita is bhakti. So Krishna may say a few things and then again he'll come back to the chorus. Bhakti, just do bhakti. Then he'll say a few things, just do bhakti. Gita is really a Gita, it's really a song. So ultimately, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that you can't achieve perfection in any process of yoga unless there's some bhakti added. Every yoga is energized by bhakti, and every yoga is ultimately progressing the practitioner towards bhakti. So everyone has a different progression. Some Ashtanga yogis will go and step by step they will go to higher levels of realization. And some Ashtanga yogis, they may stay at their level of realization. So it's all very, very individual. But in the Gita, Krishna is making the point very clear. Yoginam api sarvesham madkatena talatmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam samyukta tamo mata. Ultimately, of all the yogis, you just have to love me. So, yes, the Gita, Ashtanga Yoga, Kumbh Mela, all these things are there. His Holiness Indradimna Maharaj once said, all the austerity, all the study, all the service, all the efforts that we're making in devotional life are just so that one day we can sit in one corner of the room, chant one name of Krishna, and experience one genuine teardrop of love fall from our eye. And if you get to that point, ho gaya, then you've achieved it. So let us not forget, we want to just one day chant one name of Krishna. Krishna toma anajadi bole ek baar maya hoite bande Krishna tore kare paar. It's mentioned that if you chant one name of Krishna, if you put your hands up once and say, Krishna, from this day on I'm yours, then immediately in that moment Krishna will release you. So we want to come to that point. So yes, these are some points in response. Okay, yes. Jai Gopikesh Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Beautiful.
answers and your association, and thanks also for coming and visiting the temple land where the temple is coming up. Can you share a few words of encouragement to what was the experience seeing that and how you encourage us to complete this project this year? So
Yes, definitely. I was mentioning at the beginning, but yes. I was mentioning to the devotees yesterday that when I was young, I had the great fortune of growing up coming to a temple. And it changed my life, clearly. When kids have the opportunity to grow up coming to a temple, but not just coming to a temple, having a place where they can learn, a place where they can make spiritual friends, a place where they can deepen their character, it will always leave a deep impression on their heart. It takes a whole community to bring up a child. And so by having a temple like this is really an investment in the next generation. It's an investment for all of us who are a little older. Now for many of you, the time is coming where your kids have grown up, isn't it? Kids have grown up, they're doing their thing, get married, nokri, chokri. Then you have time on your hands. Then you can come and serve at the temple. Then you can come and give your heart to Krishna. So for those who are in the later stages of their life, the temple is a wonderful facility. It becomes a place where you can come and serve every day. For those of you who are busy grihastas, no time, no time. The temple is a wonderful place. You can come on Sunday and at least for one day you can disconnect. You can come for Mangalarati, and before you hit the chaos of the world, at least you can come and take blessings of Krishna. For those who are younger, the temple is the place to grow up. The most fun place. I used to just come to the temple and play cricket. And then cricket turned into Krishna. So whether you're young, whether you're middle-aged, whether you're in your later years, the temple is an embassy of the spiritual world. It's a place where you can make your life so beautiful. So please, give generously. What can I tell you? I don't have a job. We can only come in front of you as beggars. And we can say that money comes, money goes. In my case, money never came. Ain't no money going either. Money comes, money goes. To earn money causes you anxiety. When you have money, anxiety. And when you lose money, anxiety. Therefore, if we can use some of our hard-earned wealth for Krishna, we're blessed. At the end of life, we can say, if Srila Prabhupada comes to us, I tried to help. I tried to help to put up a temple so that future generations could benefit. So try, be generous, whatever you can do. Nothing is too small, nothing is too big. Whatever you can do, try your best. As one Italian devotee used to tell me, something is better than nothing, but more is better than something. It's very charming, you know, Italian. So do your best. You'll be blessed. All praise to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ram Sankirtan ki jai. ISKCON West Sydney ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande.
His Holiness Svayam Bhagavan Keshava Maharaja ki.